Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. Let's get started. We begin with a KREM 2 exclusive. Neighbors near Comstock Park are warning other pet owners tonight about two dangerous dogs responsible for killing and seriously injuring other dogs in the park. Scraps is now investigating, and a warning: some of the photos you are about to see are graphic. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk reports.
Most every morning I just begin my day walking my dog like so many other neighbors do. We have a great community of neighbors that walk their dog in the park.
February 2nd was no different for Stacy Clary and her dog Sam.
He's a large yellow lab. He's 107 pounds, probably more now because of the treats he's getting.
A walk in Comstock Park nearly cost Sam his life.
He's probably got 20 puncture wounds.
Stacy says the attack was unprovoked. Sam was off a leash, which is against city park rules. So was another dog.
One of them, I believe, is a pit bull mix, and I believe it's a mastiff. The other is also a pit bull. One of the two dogs came out and then attacked my dog in the neck, and then the other attacked him in the inner loin.
Stacy says the attack finally stopped when the other dog's owner bit its tail.
We both didn't know what to do. I mean, it was a terrible moment in time.
But Stacy says she did know the dogs and their owner. That's because they killed her neighbor's dog the day before.
Very traumatic for my daughter, very traumatic for my wife, and then for me, the dog had really become part of the family.
Trent Anderson's wife took their daughter's rat terrier, Gertie, to the park.
It was our fur grandbaby.
Gertie was also off-leash.
We rushed her into the veterinarian, and unfortunately, the dog passed away within about 15 minutes after being at the vet. Too much massive loss of blood.
Scrap says the two dogs involved in the Comstock attacks have been deemed dangerous. That means their owner has to register them as dangerous, pay annual fees, and show Scraps they are being kept in an improved enclosure every 12 months. The owner is also required to post a sign indicating a dangerous dog lives on the property. Scrap says the dog's owner plans to appeal the designation. Dangerous dogs are allowed to be walked on leash in public while wearing a muzzle. Scrap says officers issued violations to all parties for having dogs off leash during the attacks. Animal control officers are conducting emphasis patrols in Comstock Park and have already written more tickets for leash violations.
I think that pets give us a form of love that we really don't get anywhere else, and so it becomes a very tragic event when this sort of thing happens.
Stacy wants the county to create a site showing where dangerous dogs live, similar to a sex offender registry.
Address and say there's a dangerous dog on this street. I'm just going to skip that house when I trick or treat.
She and Trent are sharing their stories in hopes of raising awareness to leash up so everyone can enjoy the park safely.
These kinds of tragic events can happen, and so I would encourage anyone that walks their dog in a public park to maintain control of their individual dogs so this sort of thing doesn't happen.
In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
And just into our newsroom, within the last 2 hours, the Moscow Chief of Police announcing that he'll be retiring in May. Chief James Fry started with the Moscow Police Department in 1993 as a reserve officer. He has served as chief for the last 8 years. One of the most notable cases of his career was the murders of 4 University of Idaho students in November of 2022. Fry was a part of the investigation that eventually led to Brian Koberger's arrest in Pennsylvania a few months later. The city will now begin the process of appointing the next chief. Also new, the Spokane Police Department offering free anti-car theft devices, the clubs, for Kia and Hyundai owners after an uptick in car thefts. According to police, more than 200 Kias and Hyundais were reported stolen last year in Spokane County. Police also recommend owners contact their dealers to learn about modifications that could make your car safer. If you are interested in a free club, call that number right there at the bottom of your screen. Meantime, public health officials in Spokane confirming a measles infection within the county. Spokane Regional Health District says the risk is low considering many people are vaccinated, but they are asking people to check their children and their own records to make sure they are protected. Officials also released a list of dates and times and locations where someone could have been exposed. To see that list, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. The 3 men arrested for a shooting on Hamilton Street last week appeared in court today. According to newly unsealed court documents, the victim in the shooting allegedly shot herself. This all happened because a man says that he was trying to get thousands of dollars in stolen tools back from the people that he says stole them. The man says he found the tools on Facebook Marketplace and arranged to meet up with the seller, but when he got there, 5 people put on ski masks, confronted him, and then drove off quickly. The man followed them, and according to court documents, the suspects leaned out the window and started shooting. It wasn't until police stopped the suspect's car that the woman was found dead in the front seat. The 3 18-year-old suspects are all charged with robbery, criminal conspiracy, and assault. The driver is charged with attempted to elude police. Nearly 20 University of Idaho athletes are under investigation for an off-campus fight that happened back on February 10th. According to the Moscow Police Department, 2 fights broke out on Taylor Avenue. 2 people were hurt. They were treated and released for their injuries. Police are still actively investigating. They say charges are possible. We reached out to the University of Idaho Athletics to see if there's been any disciplinary actions for those players. We have not yet heard back. And now to an update on the Idaho Fire Marshal about a fire that destroyed the roadside bar and grill over the weekend. It broke out in Kamei between Main Street and Hill Street. The building is a total loss. The fire marshal said they have determined where the fire started, but couldn't say where yet. They told us they'll have more information on Friday. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, switching gears to talk weather. We are right in the middle of a rainy streak, but we could be seeing some blue skies again by the weekend. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for the details. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, when it comes to the overall weather pattern, it does look like our temperatures stay pretty mild. That's even despite a little bit of rain staying in the forecast right now. All the way up near 40 degrees, and look at the dew point of 38. That means fog. Fog, yeah, we've got a little bit of patchy fog developing, but overall, it's really just keeping an eye on that storm. It's about ready to make landfall along the Washington-Oregon border, and it's put down quite a bit of rain and even some severe thunderstorms down to our south. Right now, a couple of clouds and a little bit of stray shower activity is what we can expect. Eventually, that moves in and we wind up seeing another round of showers tomorrow. I don't necessarily think that it's as widespread as today, and I don't think we get as much moisture as what we saw today. Instead, I think it winds down quickly and we even see a little bit of sun. Thursday, we'll see more and more sunshine as we move through the day. Temperatures stay in the 40s. Thursday, a little more sun. Friday, partly cloudy skies and a high near 50 degrees. Well, all this week, our Environment Northwest team is looking at the shrinking snowpack in the Northwest. The mountains of eastern Washington and North Idaho are currently under moderate and severe drought due to the lack of snow on the ground. But the lack of snow isn't necessarily a new thing. I went up Mount Spokane to better explain the low snow totals, and you can find that full story on KREM.com.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. In other news, victims of the Oregon Road and Gray fires are finally able to get federal money to rebuild 6 months after the fires. Today, President Joe Biden declared the wildfires major disasters, opening up federal aid. The White House says individuals can now apply for grants for temporary housing and home repairs or low-cost loans to cover uninsured property loss. Hundreds of people have been waiting on this announcement, having already used up their own insurance and what little aid was already out there.
Virtually everybody was underinsured, and the governor's money all specified to the uninsured. And so there was a whole quadrant of people that had some insurance, but not near enough. They burned it on asbestos testing and mitigation because they were told the governor's money wouldn't help them there. So now they're sitting with a clean spot, but their money's gone.
The FEMA funding is also available to local, state, and tribal governments and some nonprofits, and to offset some costs for hazard mitigation measures statewide. In national news tonight, the body of an 11-year-old girl who'd been missing since last week was found in a river today in Texas. Now a friend of her father is facing charges for her murder.
At this time, we believe the appropriate arrest warrant is going to be for capital murder in the death of Audrey Cunningham.
Prosecutors say they will charge 42-year-old Don McDougal with capital murder. McDougal lived in a trailer behind the family's home and admitted to leaving with Audrey on her way to school. He has a criminal past and is currently in jail on an unrelated charge. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in